Hello everyone! How are you doing?
Hi everybody!
Welcome, 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 welcome! We got season premiere, season 4 if you can believe it. Season 4, y'all.
Congratulations!
Thank you! Thank you. 4 whole seasons. It's about like 12 episodes now that I changed it to an hour format, but it was 20 episodes the first two because they were half an hour.
How do you find the workload?
I don't know. It's been a journey. Let's just say that. I'm gonna leave it there. But I come bearing gifts. Ooh la la, ooh la la, ooh la la.
Gifts.
Shots.
Cheers.
Ladiva, and all the girls at the drag view, I learned very well from them that shots during the show helps a lot. Social lubrication.
Yeah.
So it's a
what a welcome, right?
Right. And so I have my good friend here with me today. We're talking Black gay culture here on Tea with Taylor. And I have here with me. I'll let you introduce yourself to the viewers. Who are you? Who is
Hi
she?
everybody. Who am I? My name is Ricky. Hi everybody. I'm Ricky Irizarry. And I'm around Providence.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm around.
Are you sure?
I'm around at the Dark Lady and stuff.
And stuff, etc., etc.
Etc.
You might have noticed I have my trophies lined up there.
So we're gonna get into the trophies right away.
We're not gonna get into the trophies. We're not gonna get into the trophies right away.
I also have a trophy. We're gonna get into the trophies. Okay. We'll get into the
Yeah, whatever. But keep introducing. Tell people what you do and who you are. So tell us your pronouns as well.
My pronouns: he, him, his. When I am in drag as Rage Ramsey, I use she, her, they.
Miss Ramsey.
Rage Ramsey.
Oh, Miss Ramsey. So I'm finding us on Facebook because I'm the worst. Oh, found us. Okay, good. So I'll be able to catch up with the comments and make sure that I'm doing my due diligence there, Horner. But yeah, this is the season premiere, so I've been gone for about a month, about 32 days to be exact. And I'm really happy to have you be my first guest.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thanks for having me. I feel honored to be here on the season premiere. This is amazing.
Season premiere.
So cheers
as
to
Mara
that, right?
would say. Cheers.
Before
but
we get into it,
I have shots for us.
Shots.
Oh,
So we're not gonna cheers with that. We're gonna cheers with the
Here
shots.
you go.
Here
So
we go.
it is vodka and strawberry seltzer.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So
Cheers.
hopefully it's tolerable. Oh, that's great. Mm.
Oh, that was good.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's
we
good.
can do those.
So
All
this
right,
is the perks of doing the show at a later
Yes.
time. I was doing my show, as you guys know, Tea with Taylor was coming to you at 4 o'clock. But from this point on, we're going to be coming to you at 6 o'clock. So look forward to that. Give you guys a little time to make a little beverage, have your little dinner and all that. All that good stuff.
Get ready. Sit down.
Get real ready.
For the tea to stop piping.
But yeah, so I've been gone from from doing Tea with Taylor for about 31 or 32 days. So we got a lot to talk about. So we're just gonna get into the hot topics really quickly. And Ricky, aka Miss Ramsey, if you know. But yeah, we're gonna get into it, and I'm gonna look forward to hearing what you have to say about it as well.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah. And then we'll talk. We're gonna take a little game break in between, and then we'll commence to talk about Black gay culture and all those things and all those good stuff. Don't worry, I got some good questions for you, Horny.
I'm ready for the questions. I'm nervous for the questions.
Don't be nervous.
But I'm ready though.
It's just me.
And we got a shot, so we're good. We're loosened up.
Right. We got a little shot. Got a little wine.
Mm-hmm. Cheers to that.
But yeah, for real. So first things first, I want to talk about. We just got into the month of August. Of September. Don't agree with me when I'm wrong.
I know what you meant.
We just got
since we set the standard.
Exactly.
Now we know.
There you go. So we just got into the month of September, but August was a lot going on. We had a lot happening. But San Francisco was one of the first places actually to name August as Transgender History Month.
That's amazing.
So big ups to San Fran for that. San Fran is a very LGBTQI friendly place. Always has been, from what I've known it to be. Which is very little. But yeah, it's always been an LGBTQI friendly place, and I hope that other places can follow suit with that.
Talk about setting the standard. Yes, good job.
Seriously, like Transgender History Month. Not only just Transgender Month, Transgender History Month.
And that's where it begins, because you have to know the history in order to progress forward.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? In order to understand if you don't know.
Absolutely.
I feel like a lot of allies have recently come to the surface, and I feel like, they ask a lot of questions, and maybe a lot of questions start with a little historical research.
Mm-hmm. And I had one of the episodes, we talked about Ladiva, but one of that same episode I had Rodney Davis on here, and he also is really really amazing about talking about queer history.
He's amazing.
And he just has a lot to offer.
He just
so
has a wealth of knowledge.
we're not going to get into that right now, but Rodney, if you're watching, thank you for that and all that you do. There may be some controversy there, but whatever. What you've done cannot be argued with. Moving forward, another thing that I thought was pretty funny that I would be remiss not to mention here on the T, OnlyFans.
Ooh.
And I will.
We went there going.
And you know what?
Listen, I am very pro body positivity.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that OnlyFans really opened the door for a lot of people to explore themselves sexually.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like exploring yourself sexually can bring you to a high level in so many different areas in life.
Oh, yes.
Mentally, physically, emotionally.
Oh, yes.
Whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship. And OnlyFans, get your money.
I like to say I'm sexually liberated.
Get your money.
No, honestly, get your money. Like, for real. Like, get your money.
No contracts, no people in between, no people behind the scenes. You don't have to pay nobody. Nobody's 5, 10, 20%.
Yeah. And you know what? And the funny thing is, okay, so if you guys don't know, OnlyFans came out and said that they would be banning sexual content.
I saw that.
I called this a few months before this announcement came out because commercials or advertisements started popping up on my social media for OnlyFans, but it would only show like OnlyFans, like people painting or people like doing like cleaning hacks and stuff. And I was like, girl, don't show me this OnlyFans commercial, and you know damn well that's not what people are using it for.
That's not what's
so I called it. I was like, they're probably losing money, and they're trying to rebrand themselves after we just come out of a COVID era. So that's what it was. I think they're trying to rebrand themselves so that they remain relevant, but also, what about the people who made you relevant?
Did they?
But then they went back and they backtracked.
Okay.
No, they did backtrack.
I wanted to confirm that.
They backtracked. They went back and had a reversal. They had a lot of backlash from a lot of different people in the community, a lot of different people that are in the sex work community. And they had a lot of backlash. A lot of people came for them
because
and
they
heard.
Important for
there was no way they were not going to hear them.
Right, and that was that. That was a very big platform for sex workers. You know what I mean? Even whether it was a person who has been working in the industry for years, or whether you were just a person looking to make money and just exploring yourself in that way, that was a really big platform, and you took that away.
Yeah,
you
can't.
Know what I mean? And right,
you can't.
You can't.
But all the people that like shouted them out and like said things like kudos to you, big ups to you, because like they would have gotten away with it if it weren't for social media being such a big thing that it is now.
With the standards, and the control, and what they're watching, and
it's
how they're
just
censoring everything, and the algorithms, and that's just a whole.
Ooh, we're not gonna talk about that.
That's just a whole situation.
That's a whole nother episode, actually. Thank you. That's an idea. I'm gonna scribble that down somewhere.
Because that's a thing.
I'm just over it in general, but it's okay. But we get to do things like this with social media. So, moving forward just a little bit, something that I thought was pretty funny that we might have to adopt here in the U.S. China, they're setting a restriction on gaming. I don't know if you guys, my gaming friends, are watching, but I love my games. I love my RPGs.
They're going to set restrictions on
They're setting restrictions. They're allowing 3 hours a week.
Oh! 3 hours?
3 hours a week.
Why?
But the T is it's actually only for people who are 18 and under.
Oh, that's a different story.
But 3 hours a week.
That's a different story.
They're monitoring it severely, they said. They have to register to play. There's a time limit, like a strict time limit. It's hilarious they're setting this limit because a lot of new software is developed in China. A lot of gaming software is a lot more popular out there, especially with teenagers. And technology is different there. They move different out there.
Yeah.
So this is obviously a really big problem for them and for their community that they are enforcing such a strict rule on gaming. Are you a gamer?
I'm not a gamer. I'm not a gamer.
Oh, I am surprised.
Let me tell you, I have no coordination. You put me on a... It's bad. It's bad.
You heard it here first, folks.
And I can't I'm not much of an observer either because I can't just sit there and watch somebody play video games.
Really?
No, what am I going to do? I'm going to watch you... I'm not going to watch it. I can't. I can only watch it. I'm not in control. And then you put me on there, it makes me dizzy. You got things going on. You got
Here's the real tea. Is boyfriend a gamer?
No one plays some games.
Oh, Nolan, if you're watching.
We got the VR and everything. I come home and Nolan he's in a total virtual world, okay?
Okay.
He got different
So
screens.
now you know from experience that you're not a person who can watch a game. Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a gamer, you know 3 hours is nothing. You can get lost in a game and
You
play
can get
for
lost
3
in a game
hours.
yeah, absolutely.
Any, like on a
3
Monday.
hours is not a long time. And I feel like it's hard for me personally to speak on a culture. Oh, you are so cute.
Molly's crashing again.
Molly is
I can't deal. Molly.
It's
no.
hard. I feel like it's hard to comment on a culture that we're not a part of, and I don't know much about that culture. I will say that moderation. I support moderation. In
absolutely.
The right way.
Anything in moderation, of course.
In the right
in
way.
moderation.
I don't think that we should come at it in a way where it's demeaning to others. I don't think it's a way for us to kind of feel superior to others either. I think if it's a moderation for the right reasons,
like I said,
then yes.
But like I said, as we brought it up, I agree. I think the U.S. should follow suit. Because we do kind of have that one of that along with all the other issues.
My brothers are on them games.
We have that as a thing that could become a really big problem in the future.
We was driving to Florida. They was playing them games like
zombies.
I can make a
zombies.
zombie.
And now they have it where with certain systems that you can play and resume your game from the console onto a handheld.
Facts.
As if you weren't playing enough on the console.
I support it though because there is a lot to come out of games too, like whether it be technology, whether it be creative things. I feel like in the drag communities, that
I get a lot of
inspiration.
Yeah, I get a lot of my inspiration.
So you cannot deny that art, you cannot deny that craft and what it takes to put into. My brother Taman designed a video game for some type of class, and it was amazing to watch. Yeah. It was amazing to watch because like a lot of the times, me as not a gamer, to watch somebody just kind of like boom. For 7 hours. Yeah. I'm like, but girl, I sit in front of a mirror for 7 hours, beating my face. You know what I mean? So really, who are we to say? You know what I mean? Somebody's saying somebody's saying.
It's interchangeable. You're absolutely right. I don't know. I've enjoyed it because again, I get so much inspiration for it, especially as a drag king. I don't know if you've seen like some of my looks, but they're absolutely black superhero, 100% like inspired by like either video games or some sort of cultural tribe.
Yes. Which I admire very much because it just you really slay that.
Oh, thank you. Bitch. Cut it out.
I admire that. We talked about that at when you got the trophy.
Oh, we're talking about the trophy.
When you got the
now.
trophy.
Oh.
We talked about that when you got the trophy.
Oh, we're talking
But
about
I know you had the trophy though when I got it. I know you had the trophy when I got it.
Oh man, so I have a few things that I want to bring up, a few events, and that's one of them that's going to be in the future. But moving forward just a little bit, we got another hot topic. A few new hot topics. We got some new music coming our way.
Yes.
Honey child.
Who is it?
So we got Troye Sivan dropping a new single soon.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know Troye Sivan?
No.
You heard it
I'm
here.
late with music.
Clutch the mother flipping
Clutch your pearls, honey.
Oh no!
I don't know who that is.
Oh my God, Troye Sivan has done so many cute little hits. He's been one of the LGBTQ pioneers as far as music artists goes.
I apologize for my ignorance. Oh my God.
I know Easy. Hey, there's a lot of different. So we're gonna jam to Troye Sivan after this. Okay, you know what? I can't think of this name. If you guys can think of the very first Troye Sivan song that you heard, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear that. I'd love to see that. And we can get Ricky acquainted with Mr. Troye Sivan, honey.
I'm gonna get hip.
We need to know. But Troye Sivan, keeping it gay. Lil Nas X also is coming out with.
Lil Nas X better own Disney World, honey. He out here 9 months pregnant, bro. He better
fully pregnant, presenting. But you know what? I thought that was hilarious because he's presenting it in a different way that we've never seen before, and people are coming for him. And when will you learn not to come for him?
Exactly. He is an artist through and through. I bow down to that person.
And you know what? These are the things he wants to happen, and people fall right into it. Yes. Like absolutely, he's remaining relevant without even producing music yet. Like, and then this whole baby, the 8-month pregnant thing. I don't know if you guys seen the images.
Gorgeous.
But they're pretty good.
They're good. They're good. It's good. And the thing is that they're calling it their baby because it is their baby.
It is their baby.
Project. When you put every artist in our community can understand that when you put your all into something, whether it's a face, a wig, a painting, an album, that is your. Absolutely. You put your blood, sweat, and tears into that. That's everything you're feeling.
And to return that energy, you know, like you said about what I do as a drag king,
Yes.
what you do is absolutely stunning and amazing, and
You become vulnerable.
love
right?
what you do.
Thank you.
I really do. Like, I admire it so much. You know, you do the creepy thing. Sometimes you do the scary thing.
Thank
you do
you.
the pretty thing, you know, and I really enjoy it. Keep doing what you do.
I appreciate that.
Keep doing what you do. It's
Thank
so
you so
good.
much.
I was talking to my good friend, Mr. Dion Sage. If you know him, you know him.
You know him.
I was talking to him about that, about how I really like to, you know, commit to a creepy glamour kind of look soon.
Well, I got you.
So let me know. Let me know.
You know, it's interesting to kind of talk about the creepy glam look. Like, I have to say that it was drag is amazing, and I fell in love with drag, and I'm very grateful for the way drag entered my life, and maybe that's a topic for a conversation for another day. But the way drag had entered my life, I'm very, very grateful and humbled by it. And like,
I was surprised, bitch.
I was surprised, girl.
Oh, Mr. Dion said, "Hey, sisters."
Hey.
Hi, girl. No, I was actually I was taken aback. I was so surprised. I would have never seen it coming. I remember thinking, like, isn't that the guy that's the dancer? Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh,
yes.
Oh shit.
And thank you for saying, okay, so thank you for saying that, and I don't mean to, like, so drag was something that I didn't expect to do, but I did, and it was an amazing thing, and I'm glad that I'm doing it now, because I have always been an artist, and I was already drawing, and I was already painting, and I was already practicing, like, through the quarantine. That's what I did. You know, I really.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a major social media stalker. I keep up with everyone on social media. I know what you're doing before you even talk about it, and then when you do talk about it, be like, so let's talk about that other story.
Yes, exactly.
Let's talk about that other post.
It leads you to where you are. Yes, it leads you to where you go. Right. Hands down.
Absolutely.
Hands down.
So, you know, with that being said, I guess we can take a little break from the hot topics to talk about some upcoming events and whatnot, and etc. So, you guys may have noticed, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm wearing my Imperial Court pin and charm, darling, sweeties.
Yes.
I don't know if you can see that, but get into it. And it's not just because it's a great.
They can see it.
It's not just because it's a great pin. I wanted to remind myself that we have the upcoming event this Sunday, at the Luau Ball. You know, profits are going to charity. I forget the name, forgive me, but Miss Irina Devereaux. It is her birthday bash, and it is the Luau theme. Tickets are still available.
Please get some
check my Facebook, check Irina Devereaux's Facebook. We're all posting about it. Again, my good friend Dion Sage is also performing that night. Miss Rach Ramsey's coming out for the fun.
We're going to have some fun. Come out to this luau.
Yes, and it's going to be a great event. I think it's going to be super fun.
Fire.
I will be performing as well. So we're looking forward to a grand gesture from Miss Irina Devereaux. It's going to be some food. Because if you're like me, the second question you always ask after who all is going to be there is there food?
Is there food?
Yes, there will be food. It's, you know, I'm not too sure of the event, of the location, but it is going to be by poolside, I believe.
Yes. It's at the Palace.
So it's a moment.
It's at the Palace.
It's a moment. So get into it.
Please join us.
Proceeds go to Surgeoner's house. Okay, thank you, Dion. Yes.
Thank you, Dion.
If you want to get tickets, please reach out via Facebook, Messenger, or what have you to get those tickets. It's going to be a great event. Also, last night, darling.
I woke up to a whole lot of text messages about last night. Okay, tell me.
You must be talking about something different. Hold on, let me close this book.
Tell me. No, wait, I don't want to close your book. I forgot we were on Facebook.
So last night, darling.
What happened last night?
Isn't that great? That's what I like to foster that.
And you gave me a shot, and
it's
and the thing is, before we started the show, the wine was here. So we was, you know what I mean?
So, you know, with that being said, another thing last night, like I was talking, I went to a fashion show, darling.
Oh,
it was
okay. I didn't know about,
amazing.
Wait.
It was amazing.
How are you doing?
You just reminded me. It was amazing. It was brought in part by PVD United, as well as Shea High School Fashions. Check them out on social medias. I'm sorry, Dion is talking about I'm always trying to eat something, and it's true. I'm hungry as we speak, so it's fine. But you know, Shea Fashion and PVD United put on a really great show last night. They had a marching band.
Yes.
It was actually phenomenal. There was 4 different local designers, and they all presented really, really well. The lines were amazing.
Amazing?
One of them is her name is Blondia.
Will you fill me in next time? I would love to go.
Absolutely. I'm always looking for people to go and support.
I would love to go.
And Blondia, I forget your brand's name. I'm so sorry, but it's very tribal and African inspired, and she crushes every look,
well, congratulations to her.
Good. But yes, congratulations to Shea High School, and congratulations to PVD United for putting on that event last night. It was really great.
PVD United is great.
I had the privilege to sponsor one of the Shea fashion shows with some merch from T. with Taylor and other things like that for their last event, which was the very first one, and it was so nice. So I'm going to keep up with you guys. You better make me proud. The thing with the Shea fashion shows, I believe, and my good friend Will Lopera, if you're watching, is in charge of those. The thing is, I believe, is they're all seniors who are in the shows. And so they move on. And then the next seniors do the next show.
So it's always different every year.
And it's beautiful. They put on a really great show. So shout out to you guys. With that being said, we also have a fashion show coming up with Miss Bonnie. If you're watching, I know you shared earlier, so I know you're probably watching. Miss Bonnie, share the information in the comments for everyone else to see. But we have a fashion show coming up on October 23rd. It's Nate Banks is actually also going to be hosting.
Go Nate.
And I'm going to be walking in that show as well. And that's
you got a good walk too.
Thank you.
You do. I mean, you got the trophy.
I got the trophies to prove it. But
no,
that's
next time. I'm coming for it.
Coming for it.
I'm coming for the trophy.
You and my brother Dion both coming for it. So, hey.
It's gonna be a stiff competition.
So October 23rd, that's gonna be a fashion show that I'm gonna be walking in. Hopefully you guys can catch that. I'm gonna promote it, so get your tickets as soon as possible. And lastly, I want to talk about another event that's gonna be a really big thing for me. It's still in the works, so I can't say too much.
Okay.
But
it's a secret.
We may have a live, it may not be live, trivia night with Taylor.
Yes.
So
I can ask questions. If some of it can you speak on the location?
I cannot speak on the location, and I can't speak on who's going to be involved.
Can you speak on the street?
But I can't speak on who's going to be involved. But it's going to be very much trivia, very much board games, very much
fun.
And I'm gonna invite some friends that have been on the show. I'll say that to help me co-host that game night. And that trivia
that's
night.
going to be so much fun.
And it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope that you guys can join me for that when I put that on. It's going to be a big deal. And hopefully we get to do Family Feud style too. That's one of the.
That's where things get real.
It's gonna
That's
be big.
Where things get real.
Because that requires teams, honey.
That requires focus.
Oh yes.
People
so I'm excited about that. And yeah, now that we have all those events out, was there an event that you wanted to plug? Because you're everywhere, and we want to make sure the viewers are hooked up on TV Taylor.
Just Sunday's Luau at the Palace. You know, we're really, it's gonna be a phenomenal show. We're gonna be raising money for the Sojourner House, as we talked about. In celebration of Irina Devereaux's birthday. You know, Irina Devereaux is somebody who I am continuing to get to know, and some of the topics today, I've talked a lot to Irina about, actually.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yes. And so it's really interesting, and I really have a lot of respect for Irina.
Irina has done so much in her reign, and it's like
so much.
Really impressive.
Isn't it impressive?
It's impressive.
And I really appreciate the support, the love, the guidance. She's amazing. So
yeah,
Irina.
Okay, well, look out for that on Sunday, y'all. I'll probably try to record that in some way too, because I've been hearing from a lot of people that I need to record my performances.
You should,
and I don't because I never think to record them as I'm doing it.
I'm learning that it's hard.
It is.
Because I'm very new to performing. Like, well, I'm not new to dancing, but I'm new to performing.
And then when you're in the moment, you don't think like, oh shoot, let me set up a camera. Like,
let me set up a camera. You're like, go,
hopefully
go,
I don't
go. And
eat the floor or something.
Hopefully, hopefully I don't slip. Does my costume look okay?
Right.
Am I giving the song? Am I feeling?
Am I giving what needs to be given?
Did I remember to sing? Did I move my lips, bitch?
You know what? Funny story, and we're gonna move on, I promise. But funny story, when I first did my very first performance, at Ego. This was a little while back. I did a Beyonce song and I forgot to lip sync.
Oh shit!
Because I was so worried about my steps. Because I was doing the steps. I remember the song and everything. It was I'll be a babe, promise not to let you go.
That's a good
Say
song.
you never let me go. And I crushed it. Don't get me wrong. I think I crushed it. But I forgot to lip sync. And it was great because everyone cheered. It was a good performance. It was my very first one, and I fed off the energy of the crowd. But Kira Stone, shout out to Kira Stone, one of my favorites. Behind the stage, came up to me and was like, really great job. Like, you did a really good job dancing. But next time, just just make sure you sing the song. You just lip sync. And I was like,
period.
Thank you so much. Like, it meant so much to me that she took the time to say that to me. And, like, it felt so good and so warm and, like, welcoming that, Kira Stone, this well-established drag queen, this, like, big name, was coming to me, like, a friend, and, like, was just like, hey,
That's the support we need in our community.
It was so good. It was really good.
It feels really, really good when somebody who is established and somebody's on, an iconic level really kind of reaches in and not just shits on you, but says something like, hey, girl, boom.
Yeah, Kira is mother. Kira is mother, and she knows it.
Feels good.
She's mother, and she knows it. And we need more people like that. Miss Calypso, Phoenix, I see you watching, honey. They are starting.
Hi, Calypso.
They're starting their game night again at Free Play, and I can't
They starting
wait
a
for
game
that.
night again.
I
They
can't
starting a
wait
family again. They gotta fit. Listen.
So Calypso and Kira Stone will be doing Free Play game night, and I forget the night. It used to be on Mondays. But they're starting their Free Play night again.
I can't wait for Free Play.
I love it. I love when the street people see us coming in and they're like, who are all these queers? I'm like, it's queer night, honey. Recognize.
We take over.
It's great. It's great. Dion said Kira Stone is mom and Irina Deborah is the best. True. All facts. We have no argument here. But we're going to move forward just a little bit. You spoke about how we need role models like that in the community. Mm-hmm. We're moving forward a little bit with the talk today, with the conversation, with the chat. But first, we got another shot, y'all. We got another shot.
Drunk.
We got another shot. I'm
gonna have to eat something before I leave.
Yes, darling. This angel brought me Frisky Fries because he was remiss to mention that he works at Frisky Fries as well. I do work at
Frisky Fries.
And he brought me fries. Kira said I love, let me see what Kira said. Hold on. I see hearts. Kira said, Dion Sage, I love you both. Love all of you. Oh, thank you so much for watching, Kira. We love that.
Thank you, Kira.
Okay, shots to that, if nothing else.
Listen, that was good the first round, but the second round, that hit, you saw me go like this.
It hit a little strong,
a little strong. I think it settled or something. That's just, I don't know. I'm going to be stumbling out of here.
Let me give it a little shake, a little shake, because it probably... Oh my god, this is too good.
It's hot.
It's warm in here with these lights on. I tell everyone that's coming here.
Yeah,
I didn't tell you. It's cool in my house. I promise. It's cool in my apartment, which is where we're filming. But once you put on these lights, honey, darling,
it's hot,
sweetie.
Are
you gonna take your black jacket off? We all friends here. Right? We're all friends here. But we're gonna get into it. Talking about role models in the community. That's a really, really big thing. And, with queer history, we talked about that a little bit with my good friend Jonathan Smith on my season finale of season 3.
Shout out to Paris
Star. Shout out to Paris Star. We talked a little bit about that on my season finale for season 3.
We could talk about Paris for hours. She's amazing.
We could. We love Paris.
Yes.
Oh, we love Miss Paris, a.k.a. Jonathan Smith, designer extraordinaire.
Extraordinary. Listen, that is one. Watch out.
We need to learn.
I need to learn.
But we talked about it a little bit. Queer culture has come a long way from the past to present, and we have to acknowledge, how far we've come and how many leaps and bounds we've taken as far as things go.
As far as acceptance.
As far as acceptance goes, from something that I looked up a little earlier, I was watching a documentary about queer history because that pops up all the time now on my stream because they know I'm gay now. Hulu figured out I'm gay.
Watch out.
But mainstream acceptance of queer in the media only started in the 2000s. You know what I mean? So, and they pulled up some stats and facts about that. And I love me some stats and facts, honey.
And I think I'm so sorry. I didn't
tell me.
And I think some of our youth, which, shout out to our youth who have been stepping up and really speaking out. That's amazing. But I also think some of our youth can really pick from that as well. Talking about our history from the 90s or maybe even from the 80s. I've had some conversations with queens who have been performing since the late 70s and the early 80s and, performed through the 90s and saw that type of support. And I think especially now with shows like Pose and shows like Legendary too, where we can really admire and we can look and we can ask questions. Like, it's not so much talking and getting to know these queens and kikiing and having fun and drinking. Like, ask questions and listen.
Absolutely. That's the big one. Listen,
comprehend, hear what they're saying.
I have gotten so far in my life by literally just listening. To sit behind somebody who got something to say, some wisdom, who have learned some things, who've lived through some things, and listen.
I had the most beautiful conversation with a performer who has been doing drag since the late 70s.
Okay.
And we were talking about the 80s, and I asked one simple question. That's a gift, baby.
That's a gift. To be doing the craft that you love since for that long.
And to be traveling, they're a traveling performer. And I said, what do you notice the most that has changed? That overall, I'm kind of summarizing my question. And I said, what did you notice the most that has changed between the 90s and today? And they talked about the support, and they talked about the kind of the brotherhood and sisterhood in like kind of moments like this, the way you can come and kind of kiki and just it's just gone away. She talked about being a house mother.
Oh, yes. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal, and we need it.
House mothers are important, and I feel like we don't have that structure.
We do not have
very present.
So, and we have it present. We do have it, and I think we're getting there. And I think it's going to become more present thanks to shows like Pose.
Right.
Thanks to shows
thanks
like
to the mainstream media.
Thanks to mainstream media, because we have come so far from that.
We have. Now we are able to show people, like, back in these times, before the 2000s, even when most of these, when queer rights became, like, a thought or became relevant, so to speak, to the masses, in, like, the 50s, that's even then we couldn't even see two women or two men kissing on screen, let alone if you saw them in person. That was immediate grounds for harm being caused to, being put in jail.
Your life, your job,
absolutely,
your family. You wouldn't have anybody, and not to mention your life is on. You could be murdered. You don't.
Absolutely.
It's.
So the fact that we're able to,
I think we also
showcase these things now.
Yes, and I think right down to expressing ourselves. Like, we're able to, we as in me, working at the Dark Lady and dancing, and even before drag, like, I, as a gay male, am able to walk outside in very, 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 very small clothing and just walk up the street.
And funny story about that, even, I heard from one of my partners back in the day. He was an older gentleman, and he used to tell me a lot about history of, like, New England, and I appreciate him for that. Maybe he's watching, maybe he's not. But he told me even back in the day that going past Dark Lady and Alley Cat and those things like that, which whatever it may have been at that time, it was not. It wasn't like now we go out and we get ready to go out and we're telling people we're going out. No, it was a secret. They even to the point where they had the doors barred off.
Yeah.
And like little plywood things crossing over the door so that people going past couldn't see what was going on inside.
And I think even us as creative artists, like, I think sometimes we should really take a moment and think and remember and acknowledge and pay homage to our past performers, because from what I'm told, when they were performing, they had to paint to look very realistic because it would risk their lives going out. But we can express ourselves.
The term realness, that's where the term realness came from. And it's not a thing anymore. We don't need someone to be presented a certain way to call them what they want to be called. But that's where realness came from. You know what I mean?
But yeah, it did. And that's where it came. And this is just all information that has been shared with me. And I think that's it leads to more something that's even more important. That, not to cut you off, sorry, but it leads to something that's even more important, which we talk about the riots and the revolutions that happened throughout all of the queer history and throughout even Black history. Yes.
And Mr. Dion, one of the things that he said to me that will forever stand out to me is, before you see my queerness, you see my Blackness.
Period.
And so we can't talk about queer history without Black history. We can't talk about the Black struggle without the queer struggle. And so that's why I really want to talk about this
because
today.
Because you can't, a lot of the times in a lot of communities, a lot of times what you face is you can't be Black and gay.
Oh yes, absolutely.
What are you gonna, you know what I mean? Like, that's how do you,
and
where's your
that's what I want to ask
you.
Traversing that is difficult as a Black gay man myself. But from your point of view, tell me, how is it that you traverse that? What are some things that you've discovered in the struggle, so to speak, of being a queer brown person?
I'm still learning.
It's a whole learning experience, darling.
I think it is, right? It's a learning experience, and I think that one of the things that really maybe bit me in my ass when I was younger, but really paid off as now that I'm older and in my 30s. I say that.
Ooh, you said that reluctantly, huh?
I do. Oh, I don't even want to go there.
Sweetie, darling. You know what? Tina Taylor visitors and guests and viewers don't have to know our ages.
They don't.
I am going to be ageless, darling. If you know my age, shut up. Just shut up. Shut up.
Oh man.
And if you don't, you won't.
You won't.
But yes.
I think that it's hard because we are embedded with things, right? Like you are embedded with, you have to think, you have to be a certain way, talk a certain way, act a certain way. Let alone if you live in an underprivileged environment, right?
Oh, yes.
Like if you don't come from much, if you're living in the projects, if you're raised by a single mom, if you're raised by public housing, or by the state, or however it is, right? If you're raised by the streets, you are queer, you're black, you have to be masculine, you have to be black, you have to fit in the black community, you have to fit in the white community, you gotta fit in the gay community, but then you gotta fit in the black gay community.
Right.
And then you gotta fit in the white gay community, and don't be too ghetto, bitch.
And don't be too ghetto.
Don't be too ghetto, because they're gonna say like you acting out of character.
Absolutely.
It's a lot.
And recently,
who do they go to?
And you know, it's funny you say that, the fit in thing. It's a really big thing, because that's ingrained in us that we need to fit in as a queer person, as a black person, as a queer black person, and then also, you know, sometimes taking into account our white queer counterparts. And I say sometimes, but it's a lot.
It's a lot to
work
carry,
with.
and you lose yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You lose yourself, right? I think that's what nobody's talking about. I think we can sit here and we can identify all the wrongs. You can identify all the wrongs until the fucking cows come home, right? But where do we start to pick up the pieces, like, right? Like, so we got to talk about how we're losing ourselves in that, right? We're so worried and we're so fixated on trying to be everything that we can possibly be,
right?
But like we cannot forget to be us, and I think that's where I hit a brick wall. I got to a point where I was chasing a lot of things, but I wasn't chasing what I wanted. I was chasing love. I was chasing men. I was chasing the thought of happiness, right? I wasn't exploring myself. I wasn't allowing Rick to shine through. And then when Rick shined through,
and that's why I always make sure to tell people, you probably have heard me say it, make sure you're being good to yourself.
To you.
That it's so important. Self-care is so
self-care.
important.
Go out with yourself. Get a pedicure, get a massage, I don't know, something. Do something for you.
Just to get into it even a little bit deeper, you know, I said to you this term earlier, and you were shocked a little bit. So for me, visiting this again, like you said, this learning curve of, you know, trying to accommodate all those different things, being black and queer, I come upon the term white privilege a lot.
Yeah. And
with white privilege, we cannot mention white privilege without mentioning the exact counterpart, in my opinion, which is black trauma.
Black trauma.
And it's not talked about enough. Black trauma. It's a really big...
That hit for me because I experienced that recently, right?
Oh, yes.
So a lot of black trauma we don't talk about because we're so proud. Right?
Absolutely.
We're so proud, but like...
Same with queer in the black community.
Yes.
They always want to push it under the rug.
You want to just you're like, okay, this is how I feel, that's it, who cares? Let's just solve it, make it work, make it work, you're strong, don't you...
Or this doesn't fit in with the lifestyle I wanted for you. And we hear this a lot in the black community. This isn't the lifestyle I wanted for you, so you can do whatever you want, but do it behind closed doors. Tell me you haven't heard that.
You can do whatever you want, just don't put a dress on.
Right.
Right? Like that, it hurts. It hurts. Like, you can do whatever you want, but how dare you limit me? How dare you tell me I can do whatever I want?
Right.
But
within these...
this box.
Right.
This box of what somebody else is comfortable with, what somebody else can feel like they can tolerate. And I think that when we become unapologetically ourselves, here come the shots.
Oh yes.
Here come the shots
creeping in.
When we become ourselves, you don't give a fuck anymore. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
And it's interesting that you touched on, and I don't mean to bring it back to past topics, but it's interesting that you touched on the spooky and the glam thing. Right?
Oh yeah.
So when it comes to drag was a thing that, you know, I've heard some negative comments, which some great comments, and some comments that really changed the game for me in a good way, you know what I mean? And comments that were hurtful, helpful, and all the above, right? But people will tell you not to do things. People will tell you that you cannot do things.
Mrs. Sage said, we speaking tonight.
We're going in. People will tell you that you can't do things. People will tell you that, you know, I am going to look at you dead in the eye and tell you that people told me I could not do drag as a dancer. You could never.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was the fire that was lit under my ass, girl, because, like, that, when it was presented to me 3 times before I accepted, boom, right? When I finally accepted, I was like, you know what, fuck that. I'm listening to that negativity.
And then, you know what? That's when you become the best person that you could possibly be. When you realize, like, this is me. This is what
This
I'm
is
going to
me.
do.
I'm
and
gonna
like,
be-
no matter what you say, what you do, how you feel. This is what I'm going to feel.
I don't
want to
look pretty. I want to look scary.
It's so empowering.
You know?
Speaking of empowering, by the way, we got a viewer saying, I'm white and I love you guys. You are strong and it's inspiring to me. Thank you,
That means a lot. Thank you.
Stephen Bennett. Thank you. That means so much.
Thank you,
I hope it's Stephen or Stefan. I'm sorry.
How do you spell it? I can't see that.
That's why I always look on my phone because I can't see that. I'm blind. But yeah, you know, we can't talk about black trauma without white privilege. Black trauma is what gives way to white privilege. Mm-hmm. And white privilege is what gives way to black trauma.
Down because we just wanted to be resolved. We didn't cause no waste.
I hear this term a lot. And something I was talking about recently, I was helping my daughter, my good daughter, Miss Niall, Miss Chic, move her apartment.
That is a talented...
She said, you know, Dad... Oh, very talented. She said, you know, Dad, you're... not for nothing, but you're very bougie. And not in a bad way and not in a negative way, but you're very bougie. And I said, you know what? If anyone deserves to be bougie, it would be black people.
Yes.
Like, we have earned the right to be bougie. We've earned so much that we haven't gotten credit for as a race and as a community. So at very least, I am claiming bougie.
As a community, as inventors, as scientists, as artists, as performers.
We built this country.
Period.
And so at the very least, I'm going to claim my bougie, and no one's going to take that away from me.
And they're going to get what you serve.
And I said, daughter, if you don't learn nothing else from me, learn that it is okay for you to be bougie. It's okay for you to be hood. It's okay for you to be whatever the fuck you want. And I'm claiming my bougie.
It is okay.
That's part of who I am.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, so be it.
And you know what's interesting that you said that too? Like for me personally, a lot of the times I thought that in order for me to progress in life, in order for me to jump up, for me, in my path, in my experience, it was always making that extra dollar to change my life, right? I'm gonna work my ass off.
Dion said he just threw his phone. I need to stop watching these comments. Y'all are crazy.
But with what we're talking about, you know, for me, in my past, it was always, how can I work that much harder to make that much more money to progress in life, right? Because you're always comparing yourself to
the next person.
Absolutely. And it's like, and though it has progressed you and allowed you to kind of evolve in many ways, but it also kind of cripples you, right? Mm-hmm. Because then you become fixated on the wrong things.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think
I've been there. I think we've all been there, and so to speak, in a way where you start to focus on the wrong things, and things seem like they can only go one way. And so we beat ourselves up. Again, self-care. The world's going to beat you up enough. That's where it becomes so important. Don't beat yourself up on top of that. That's something I always am so adamant about, because
acknowledge your wrongs and fucking acknowledge your wrongs, right? Mm-hmm. And then move forward.
Right. And even I forget that sometimes as a person, because I'm human. Hello. Or at least part human. I don't know.
No, you're human.
It's still out. The verdict's still out on that one. But Steven said, please be bougie. I love that. Right? Thank you, Steven. I don't have a choice. It's in my DNA now. I don't have a choice, honestly. It's just, I don't know. We mentioned new music earlier, by the way, and I forgot to mention Todrick Hall's new music.
Ooh. Todrick Hall is
just like the industry.
Todrick Hall,
just like the industry. Lil Nas and Troye Sivan are taking over because they're younger gays, and Todrick gets no love.
Todrick, what? I don't know much about Todrick, but I will.
He just came out with a new album. It's called Femuline, and I love it. I love the term femuline because that describes me perfectly. I could do both, bitch.
Period.
But anyways, yeah, no. So just to bring that up really quickly, because we're gonna talk a little bit more about this, but we're gonna get into our game soon. Don't worry. But yeah, just to bring this up, of course I love white people, and I don't know if you know this about me or you guys know this about me, but my entire dating career growing up, my first few partners were all Italian Americans, all white.
My fiance's white.
I had no choice in the matter, and it wasn't like I was saying, you know, like they do now, that's my type, or that's the only thing I want, no femme, no Asian, blah, blah, blah. That's just what happened.
I have a type.
That's just what happened.
I'm not ashamed
of it. I'm
sorry.
We all have our...
I have a type.
We all have our, what do you call it? We all have our preferences, which is not wrong. You're
allowed
to have a preference.
It's not wrong.
But it's not a type.
It doesn't take away from who I am.
You would probably date the very same person if they had the same qualities as your partner now.
I have.
Right.
I don't only date... Yeah.
So it's okay. You have preferences, which is fine. You're allowed to have preferences just like you're allowed to have opinions. We're not going to talk about that right now.
I'm going to take you away, but your opinions...
But white privilege, you know, is something that we need to speak about. And that could take a lot more time, and I'm not going to speak about it. But one thing I am going to say before we move forward.
If you're going to use your white privilege.
White privilege, you need to, first of all, as a white person, please acknowledge that you have white privilege, no matter who you are, what you think, or what you may not think. But don't make it a brown person's problem.
Ooh.
Do not come to your brown friend or your brown coworker or the only brown person that you know and ask them about white privilege or how to solve if you have white privilege or anything along the lines. That's for you to find out and for you to figure out on your own. That's your journey. Do not make it a brown person's problem. I see it too much. I'm going to speak on it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it. There's literature out there.
You have
there
Google
are
and everything at your fingertips.
You have Google. You have literature. You have other educated white persons. Please.
And if you can't see your privilege.
And if you can't see it, then it's there for sure. Please don't not make it a brown person's problem. That's all I'm going to say about that. But we're going to move forward because we're running into that time. We're almost done. Oh. I know. I'm going to give you guys your Friday. And I don't know what we're doing tonight. We're going to have to get into something a little later.
You took all these fucking shots.
We might have to get into something a little fun later. I don't know. But it is Friday after all.
Friday on Providence.
In Providencia.
Providence is lit lately.
But you know what? It is.
Isn't it?
I'm over it. I'm tired.
You're tired?
I'm too over this shit.
I know. It's time. Listen, I'm ready for a nap already.
I'm
just
tired,
thinking about it. It makes you want to...
I took a nap today. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm not a nap person. I took a nap. I took a whole nap.
Person.
I took a whole nap. I'm not a nap. I wanted to give you guys a COVID update, but I don't want to depress you right before we play the game. So I'm gonna give you a COVID update separately, maybe on Monday or so, because I have a bunch of numbers and stats here that will depress you.
Oh,
and you probably won't want to go out tonight after telling you all these things. So I'm gonna save my COVID update and save you your Friday evening.
Period.
You're welcome.
I'm just noticing your nails, by the way. They're really cute.
Well, thank you.
So cute.
So
the gems
funny
and the
enough,
lines, you see
the gems and everything. I don't know if you guys can see it, but funny enough, my goddaughter did them. She's 10 years old.
10?
She's a phenomenal 10-year-old. Phenomenal. She is so smart. She's so educated. Her mom is pregnant with her second child now. And she's just a really good kid. And she's raising her so well. She is so well versed. She knows so much about like queer people and like art. And we do paint night every Tuesday.
Is that where these come from?
That's where these came from. We do paint night every Tuesday. So she's just a phenomenal 10-year-old. She's so smart.
I love this painting. By the way, this is one of my favorite pictures I've painted.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So you guys might see me posting my art on Facebook and stuff like that, but I am not a painter. I'm not good at this. I just figured it out, so it's for the sake of the kids, y'all.
For the sake of the kids. For the kids. Speaking of the kids, like we had a fun Monster Mass fundraiser.
Oh yes,
that was
I was so sad that I missed that. I was in Boston for another event, and I was
you did have an event. Yeah.
I was gonna come back and try to get to it. By the time I got back, I was tired. Like I said, I'm old. I'm tired. I was like, honey, I'm going to bed.
Right. Right.
But I heard you had a really good turnout.
It was a Monster Mash, yeah.
Any fundraiser we love.
It was fun, and we raised some money for the Rhode Island Autism Project, so that was a lot of fun. We had a whole bunch of monster queens performing. Nice. It was all like horror.
Well, when I get my look together, honey, when I get my Sharon Needles vibe.
Well, I mean, October is around. Halloween's coming.
I know.
I have a countdown going on and everything.
I saw you look really good.
Thank you.
I saw.
That was, me just hosting karaoke, which karaoke Sundays at the Dark Lady plug.
This one just showed up at the ball as well last week. In full face.
I showed up. Listen, I came to walk that Butch Queen Sex Siren category, okay? But I came to serve all the Butch Queen Sex Siren in all your royal attire, okay? I came full fur dog, bitch, and this bitch snagged the trophy.
And I snagged the Royal Bowl trophy.
This bitch snagged the trophy because she deserved it.
I mean, I give royalty.
You deserve it, but no, you deserved it. You took it because you earned it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Unlike some other people who may have been talking. But anyway, we're So we're gonna play, and this is something that I really like playing this game. It's kind of fun. It's super simple. Mm-hmm. I saw the Inner Circle. Shout out to the Inner Circle. They have their show Wednesdays at 8. Every Wednesday at 8. I was on their show as well, and it's good friends of mine that host that. There's 3 hosts.
Nice.
They play games, and I love that. It's where the idea came from. T.W. Taylor to play games. Believe it or not, other people inspire me. No, I'm just kidding. But so the game we're gonna play is One Has to Go.
One has to go.
Super simple.
One gotta go. Peace.
The rules are in the name. One has to go.
Okay.
Period.
I'm ready. Period.
You ready for this? You think you're ready, but you have no idea.
I thought I was ready for the show. I didn't know I was coming to get fucked up.
Oh, Calypso said, Rigor Mortis.
Bam!
Yes, Calypso, go all up with the Rigor Mortis. But one has to go, and you guys let me know in the comments what you think as well if you want to play along. But one has to go.
Okay.
And this one, I'm gonna lead with this one because we were just talking about these people.
Okay.
And I already know your answer now because of how you responded.
Fuck. Okay.
Yes. So one has to go. Lil Nas X,
Okay.
Troye Sivan, or Tyler Cole. And I know how you're gonna respond because of how you said earlier.
Because I don't know him. Yeah. Okay. All right.
So don't get rid of the white boy, y'all.
I'm gonna get rid. Doesn't mean I don't like my man as well.
Nolan, if you're watching,
babe, you know I love babe.
Mm-hmm.
You know I love white boys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, Calypso said Troy too. We love Troy.
See? He gotta go. He gotta go.
Oh my God, we love Troy Sivan.
Lil Nas X is killing it.
Lil Nas X is killing it. Tyler Cole has been killing it. Broadway, everything.
It's over.
But Troye Sivan has done so much for the community. Troye
Sivan
is speaking to the younger kids. That's why.
That's fair.
He's very
he's
very like puss, very like I'm young, I'm free, I'm gay, and like that's how that's this new generation. So.
And that's why they need to see. And that's why they need to see the history.
Right, and that's why they need to learn the history.
Because now you're free, yes, ma'am. You
Can I
are.
get a
But why are
hallelujah?
you free?
Hallelujah.
Why are you free, bitch?
All right. You had that one. Whatever. Okay. So one has to go.
All right.
Lil Nas X speaks for the kids too. He does. He absolutely does.
That's why he stayed.
But Lil Nas X speaks more to the brown community. Unfortunately, he is crossed over, so to speak, if you ask me. But he speaks more to the brown community.
I think he's global.
Troye Sivan more so speaks to the queer white gender.
I have to be honest. Before
audience.
the show, I wasn't sure of who that was.
Who? Troye Sivan?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, we're gonna jam. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it. So the next one, and this one speaks to my superhero heart. One has to go. Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman.
Wonder Woman gotta go.
Gil, if you're watching, your best friend just said
I love you. It's not personal,
bitch.
It's not personal. Wonder Woman gotta go because let me tell you something about Spider-Man.
Tell me. But like I didn't say Spider-Man. Spider-Man's good. Spider-Man's not
Oh,
even...
you didn't say Spider-Man?
No, I didn't say Spider-Man.
Oh wait, who was it?
Why are you free? Ricky Irizarry, I'm dead. Dion's commenting. No, but listen, literally.
Alright, tell me the characters again. Sorry.
Wonder Woman. Superman.
Batman. Oh, I don't know why I heard Spider-Man.
Steven said Wonder Woman.
Gotta go, right?
Y'all are
I want Batman and Superman. I love Batman.
I'm gonna have to kick Batman to the curb. He's a human with a belt.
I love Batman.
He's a human with a belt.
He's strong.
Wonder Woman is a half goddess.
Wonder Woman can walk a catwalk.
And she did it all in a bustier. Hello.
Work.
She saved the world in a onesie.
I know, but like for me, I want Batman and Superman.
Okay. All right, honey. You know what, darling? You have
Wonder Woman kills it. This is nothing against Wonder Woman. Nothing against nothing.
If I had to choose again, I'm getting rid of Batman. I'm so sorry.
Dude.
Batman's gotta go.
I love me a bat.
Batman is a human with a belt. And he was traumatized by... We talking about trauma today. He was traumatized by a bat. And so he decided to dress up like one. Tell me a grown man that dresses like a bat that you're going to trust.
I wish you...
And another thing about Batman, hello. We had a chemist who was trying to grow some plants. And a Mr. Freeze who was trying to cool down the earth.
He's fast.
And then a billionaire who's dressed up as a bat.
He got a good cave.
Excuse me. Oh, hell no. Oh, yes, Calypso. Thank you. Calypso said, oh, hell no. Batman can bounce. Wonder Woman got powers and shit. Yes for the powers and shit. Yes for the powers and shit, Calypso. Thank you.
Alright. So I didn't get this one.
Okay. So the next one. This one might be a little bit harder for you.
Okay.
This one. One has to go, y'all. Food, sleep, or money. One has to go. Food, sleep, or money.
Money.
Really?
Yeah.
That was too quick. Explain.
That was easy.
Explain.
I don't think money buys happiness.
Well, Depends on how much you got. Hold on. No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't buy
Don't
happiness.
get me wrong. We don't want to struggle. We never want to struggle. We don't want to live paycheck to paycheck.
Dion also said money.
I would get rid of money.
Money, you know what? Honestly, if it wasn't for the structure that was set up with the way we
I think
live,
it just causes so much greed in a lot of.
Then I would say money too.
And we can get into this topic for hours.
Right, but we
do
need
need money. I'm
money.
not saying don't make a living. Make a living. Get rich, bitch. Get rich.
Get that bag.
But get that bag. You see, get that money. I want to get as much money as I can so I can look the way I want to look. But like, you know what I mean? But what I am saying is that like if I'm gonna get rid of the three, money to me is not everything. I think that money causes a lot of things. Yes, money can resolve financial stress. It can solve financial hardship.
Mm-hmm.
You can help so many people with money. You can make so many differences. You can build so many organizations. You can employ so many people. You can feed so many kids. You can do so much with money.
However,
if you remove it, think about how much evil would be removed from the world.
And think about how much more we could do without
money.
Because we wouldn't have to depend on
You wouldn't have to depend on it. People would be so much less selfish, so much more selfless.
I knew I wasn't getting rid of food. I knew that.
I wasn't getting rid of food, bitch.
That's all I knew. I wasn't getting rid of food, honey. No, darling. I need to eat. I'm so sorry. I need to eat, and I'm going to eat regardless. I might eat a little too much sometimes, so there's that. I knew I wasn't getting rid of food, but
I love food.
I didn't think about money. I was going to say I would get rid of sleep.
You get rid of sleep?
If it wasn't for the fact that I need my beauty rest,
but I love entering
if I didn't
that
have to
stage.
sleep. But if I didn't have to sleep, I wouldn't.
But then you would never enter your dreams.
But then I'm a creative person. I would illustrate that in the time that I would be awake from not sleeping.
Ah, I see.
You know what I mean?
I love dreaming.
We can we can go back to bartering. I can't deal with you guys. So yeah, that's as far as I got with that one. Okay, one more.
All right. Ooh.
One's gotta go, and I've used this before. These are movies: Mean Girls, Clueless,
okay,
or Bring It On.
Mean Girls, Clueless.
Not with the smacking of the teeth.
Mean Girls, Clueless.
One's gotta go. Mean Girls,
or Bring It On.
Clueless, or Bring It On.
I mean,
I knew Dion was gonna say Clueless.
Mean Girls is staying.
Mean Girls is absolutely staying.
Mean Girls is staying.
Calypso said, not Clueless.
Listen.
I heard you saying this. Not Clueless.
What's throwing
Clueless
me.
was iconic,
Clueless
though.
is what's throwing me. And I'm just pissed. Clueless gotta stay.
That
Clueless,
moment.
I'm sorry.
That moment where she came up with the whole virtual closet thing.
Okay.
I want that.
Clueless
I need
gotta
that.
stay. Clueless was me. I was like, I want to be that rich bitch.
Like, how do we not have that technology? Like, I just can't.
Clueless
so, who's going? Mean Girls, Clueless, or Bring It On?
Bring It On.
And Bring It On was everything. That Gabrielle Union.
Gabrielle Union was serving that green and gold, baby.
And I hate green on brown people.
Yeah.
She
really?
served it, yes.
I love green.
I had a huge issue with I styled myself in a green outfit for a photo shoot recently with
green.
Dennis Fox. Catch him, local photographer, really great queer person.
Ooh, reach out, Dennis. I want to take some pictures.
Dennis Fox, how you doing?
Hi,
yes,
Dennis.
if you're watching, reach out. But yeah, I styled myself in a money green outfit. I call
what
it
don't
money
you like
green.
about green?
But I just don't think green goes well against a brown skin tone. It depends on the undertones of the person.
Period. Okay.
Like if you have a pinkish undertone, then green will probably go better. If you have a yellowish undertone, hell no. And most brown people have a yellowish undertone, so I haven't found green to look great on a lot of brown people. So it was pretty funny.
Well, thank God I didn't wear green.
It's funny that I thought that Miss Gabrielle pulled off that green
she looks
uniform
so good. She looks
back
so
in the day.
Good. But yeah, Bring It On gotta go.
Oh
and
my
I just
God.
Bring It On.
Oh my gosh, I can't. Calypso said, I'm leaving. These are like the holy trinity of guilty pleasures. You know what? That's why I came up with these three. I thought it might be a little difficult, Miss Calypso.
Right.
But yeah, so Bring It On's gotta go, really.
Bring It On gotta go.
Wow.
I love Clueless.
You know what? I'm going to go, and you're gonna hate me for this.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Mean Girls. Mean Girls gotta go. In this scenario, because again, Clueless was iconic.
Well, you know why Clueless was iconic.
Clueless was iconic.
Mean Girls?
And Mean Girls was iconic as well, and I love Mean Girls. It's one of my favorite things. It was literally my high school career. Like that's how my high school went. I was the new guy.
Mean Girls?
I was the new guy that came in and was super popular out of nowhere. But
okay, excuse us. Not all of us were popular. You know what I mean?
Who cares about popularity in high school? Whatever, it's high school. Who cares? It's not even real. Like what? But anyway, and if for all my high schoolers who are watching it, trust me, it's not real.
It's not real.
When you get out of high school, you
don't even remember those people.
You'll know. Right, and like, who cares? But Mean Girls kind of came a little bit after these two, after Bring It On and after Clueless, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
Those were more in the 90s. That was more my era.
Mm-hmm.
Those spoke to me more.
Mm-hmm.
And Bring It On, honestly, was one of those movies that helped me feel good about being a confident and direct person. Because that is part of my personality. I'm very direct, and I like to come off as confident. And Bring It On is one of those things that really enforced that for me.
I can relate to that.
And I was like,
but I can relate.
And I was like, okay, it's okay for me to be confident.
It is okay.
It's okay for me to be direct. And so I can't get rid of those.
Yes.
I can't get rid of those. So
Yes.
I have to
Period.
X Mean Girls on the fact that it is the newcomer.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
all. That's purely it.
They still
But we still stand Mean Girls. We stand Mean Girls.
We stand Mean Girls.
But with all of that, y'all, it looks like we came upon our hour mark, and unfortunately,
that was
I know,
really
right?
fast.
It feels like it's like, whoa, that was an hour.
That was really.
I hope that's how you guys feel watching us go on.
I know. That was really quick.
But it was a really great show. I'm really glad to have talked to you guys about this. And if you want to reach out to me about anything further about Black and gay culture, please do. Unless you're a white person contacting me about white privilege, don't do that. But thank you for joining me, Ricky.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. I really enjoyed it. I always enjoy hanging out with you.
It's always a lot of fun.
It's always a
every
kiki
time we
with
have
you.
fun. Every time. We always have fun. Every time. Every time.
But I'm going to give you the floor and ask, is there anything you want to leave with our viewers today?
Well, you can find me.
Wait, pause.
What?
Tina Kane
pause.
is watching. I love you, Tina. Thanks for watching. Tina Kane said Spirit Fingers.
Wait.
Exactly. You can't go. You cannot get rid of Bring It On. You can't get rid of Bring It On. These are Spirit Fingers. These are gold. Thank you, Tina. Thank you so much for that. Awesome, but yes, it was fun. What do you want to leave us with?
I will leave you with. You can find me at Rage Ramsey on Instagram or at Rickles RIKELZ on Instagram, and Karaoke Sundays.
We love Karaoke Sundays.
We love Karaoke Sundays.
I came and showed out one night.
Yeah, you did.
Just one night. The drunker I got, the better it was.
And then and you kept letting me know you was here to perform too. You kept letting me know. You said, Ricky. So it was great. So come and find us. It's a lot of fun. And thank you for having me.
Of course. Catch this bitch at Frisky Fries. I don't know the schedule. We're not gonna post a schedule because I don't know. I don't trust all y'all's. They're on the internet. But catch him at Frisky Fries, doing a great job back there, frying up some fries and whatnot. Cooking up some food and all that. And catch him at Dark Lady dancing at certain nights on the weekends, I believe. And catch him also doing karaoke, like you said, at Dark Lady. This one's busy. And we live for the looks. And I shared all those events with you all earlier. I am not going to repeat it. Go back, watch it, flip it and reverse it like I always tell you. And I will probably have some promos coming soon. So join in, help us support a good cause. Make sure you're there on Sundays at the Dark Lady. And get in touch with me all. I know you've seen on my page that I've been posting from this ministry that I've been going to, Powerhouse Church of Boston. Shout out to you and shout out to Pastor
Powerhouse
Jody.
Church of Boston because I've been
I've
been following. It's amazing.
Really?
It is amazing. It's beautiful.
That touches my heart, honestly,
it's beautiful.
to hear.
I've been literally when you post, I go and I look at the pictures.
And that's why we do it.
It's
and that's why we do it.
It's beautiful.
That's why I post it, to make sure that, because like DM commented earlier, a lot of people have, along with other types of trauma, they have a lot of church trauma. We're going to get into that with Pastor Jody on the show.
Please.
A lot of church trauma.
Yeah.
Hi, Arita. We love you, Arita. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Okay.
Oh, there we go. We got some feedback.
Perks of being live. We got a little feedback. It's okay. We were just talking about Sunday. So, make sure you guys catch that along with all those other events I shared with you earlier. And as I like to say, make sure that you're being good to yourselves. Make sure you're checking in with yourselves and make sure you're loving yourselves.
I did remember what I wanted to plug.
Oh, and
so really quick, so you can now see my movies on Peacock.
Oh, yes, the movie that you were in.
Both of them.
Yes.
So that's a huge celebration. So on Peacock, you can now stream Strapped for Danger 2. And you can stream before the night is over for the next 2 years.
I believe Graham was
Graham is in there, yeah.
Yes.
Graham is a lot of fun. You can see it's please just go to Peacock and Strap for Danger 2.
Strap for Danger 2, y'all.
And Before the Night is Over. Before the Night is Over is creepy and scary and sexy, and I play a male in the whorehouse. Just go watch it. Yes, I do. I play a whore in the male. Just
I've often fantasized about being the head of a whorehouse.
Watch it on Peacock.
Just often the head of a whorehouse.
Yes, just
y'all need to be bringing in my money.
Listen, she's in it. She's a fierce mamma jamma, honey. And it's set in the 70s, and it's hot. And go watch it.
You heard it here, y'all, on Tea with Taylor. Ricky Irizarry, and thank you so much. Check me out on social medias, Taylor Neptune, across all of them. And we will be back next Friday. Thank you so much. Good night.